What's up, interweb? RhyQuinn here, and welcome back to the Road to Playoffs interviews. Now, if you've seen the first two, you will have seen the Hoenn Conference winner and the wildcard from the Hoenn Conference, so it's time for the third coach from the Hoenn Conference, that being the Ruby Division winner. I am here today with the coach of the Cincinnati Loudreds, Mulvone19. How are you doing today, man?
Doing pretty good.
Good.
Kind of late for this interview, but other than that, I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, it's fine, it's fine. So, first things first, congratulations on making the playoffs.
hmm
It's pretty awesome. And this is like the first time you've ever played this format. So, are you excited to be in the playoffs?
I mean, you all saw what everybody was giving me, even myself, what I thought at the beginning of the season. When it was the regular rankings or just people commenting, that I was not going to go anywhere. I was probably going to be the worst team in the league. It was pretty nice to just completely turn around from that and finish off with a very nice and powerful 7-3 record and win my division.
Yeah, exactly. So you mentioned it briefly, but going back to the start of the season, did you honestly think if you looked yourself in the mirror, did you honestly think you'd make the playoffs at the start of the
I
season?
thought, no, I did not think I would make the playoffs. I thought that maybe I could get a winning record, but I didn't think I'd make the playoffs. I thought there was too many good people in our conference. I thought I'd probably, if I were to even get a winning record, I thought, Gio and Hank and Miguel would all be in the playoffs, and I wouldn't be. I just thought even then, I want to be that successful.
Yeah. Well, you proved the critics wrong for sure. So with that said, then, are you pretty happy with how you performed this season?
Oh yeah, I think I am pretty happy. Obviously I had a few hiccups here and there. Mainly facing Hank. That was kind of weird having to face him twice
Hmm.
in 2 weeks. I've never really, whatever it is, I've never really done too well with doubleheaders, so that wasn't that big of a surprise. And then I kind of just choked when I faced Shady Superior because I don't know, I didn't really have an option for it. It was just very overpowering on my team. Hopefully, don't have to face that ever again. And then, just didn't play my best against Gio. But other than that, I felt like I had a really good season.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, if there was one thing you could improve if you went back, what do you think it would be?
Um, Trying to play a little bit better against Shady Superior. The Superior was. I just didn't really do a good job of it. I honestly should have just brought on my Town Flame. I knew I was going to get rocks damage and all that fun stuff, but I needed to do that because I thought his superior was locked in, but I should have expected it to not be locked in for it to be some sort of, expert belt or Wyland's item.
Hmm.
Sure enough, it was Wyland's. So if I did do that, I really could have saved the game and I really could have had a chance to win that match. But that was the only thing I look back at. I feel like I could have played a little bit better against Geo Hank. That just, I don't know, that was kind of weird. I was kind of off because it was two matches and we even played, I think, in less than a week. So it was kind of weird.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough though. But hopefully you can, take what you think you could do better and apply it to the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
But who do you think, looking at your whole team then, because everyone's saying at the start of the season, everyone had some kind of comment about your draft. Who do you think on your team was your overachiever? Who did more work than you thought they would?
Um, More work than I thought they would.
Hmm.
That's a great question. I actually thought, at the beginning when I drafted, like Town Flame and Keldeo, especially Keldeo.
Hmm.
A lot of people were saying, obviously it doesn't have a very big move pool. It's pretty predictable. So then I thought, like, okay, yeah, it's not going to be very good. Turned out to still be a very hard hitter. Very
Hmm.
good with Calm Minding, Life Orb set, Choice Scarf set. A lot of things I could still do with it, and it was just so hard hitting. A lot of my opponents just didn't really have a chance to switch out or have anything to take a hit from it, which was really nice. So
Yeah,
I thought that was a pretty good overachiever.
yeah, that's awesome. Well then, conversely to that, who do you think your team was your underachiever? Who didn't do as much work as you wanted?
Um, Man, that is a good question. I would save a Villon, but I didn't really have much to think about that going in. I didn't really think too much of a Villon going in.
Yeah.
Um, Probably, I guess. I mean, everybody was. It was, I obviously know Weavile was the best
Hmm.
on the team, but everybody was pretty balanced. I guess I would have to say Gastrodon a little bit because I only used it a few matches and it didn't seem very successful. It really only did a little bit of work when I faced Shady, and we had a little bit of stall. I kind of won that, but
Hmm.
besides that, it just didn't really do too much.
That's fair enough. I feel like I'm gonna know the answer to this already, but which match would you say was your biggest challenge so far in the season?
Biggest challenge.
Hmm.
You know, after losing to Hank, I kind of felt down because then I think Hank was only like 2 games out of first place,
Hmm.
and I just kept on thinking of all the I sometimes just want to think about all the negativity about things like this for whatever reason, and I was thinking, I have to beat Cooper no matter what. If I don't beat Cooper and Hank wins all of his next matches, because Hank had it looked like to be a very easy schedule. Most of his opponents were 1-5 or 1-4, and except for his last one, of course, which was Shady. So Hank had a very good chance to come back. And if I actually didn't beat Cooper, um, Hank very well could have won the division.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think it really mattered besides that too much in the long run because I already have to clinch my playoff spot. But still, to win the division would be nice. And I know Cooper was obviously doing very well at that point. He obviously the couple of matches he lost were kind of due to hacks here and there. And then besides that, I just with Cooper, it's just something different. I don't like his play style. I'm usually very bad against stall, but I was able to play around it. I was able to pressure him to do certain things, and I was able to win the match. And that was I felt like my biggest victory because I had to get over that hurdle. And then from there, it wasn't too hard.
Hmm.
I had some easier matches, and then the rest was history. So,
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a fair one. I think anyone playing Cooper is a big challenge, to be fair. Um,
hmm
but yeah. Well, bearing in mind everyone that you've faced from this season, I believe there's 3 teams that you haven't played, which is the Pittsburgh Parastars, who you're not going to play, and then the possibility of playing either St. Louis Rampados or the New Orleans Pelipers. I believe neither of which you've played yet this season.
hmm
But bearing in mind everyone that you have played this season, who would you like in an ideal world to play again? Which would be the most fun match to play again?
To play again,
Hmm.
and they don't have to play in the playoffs right now, though, right?
Yeah, no. Just out of any team that you've played this season so
Um,
far.
who would I want to play again? That's a very good question. Um, you know, this might be kind of weird, but I do really want to play Miguel again.
Hmm.
Um, it was a fun match, a lot of over predicting, a lot of regular predicting, just a lot of things going on in that match, and it was very close to the end, and obviously it didn't work out in his end because he didn't put full happiness on his Pokemon.
Hmm.
But it was just probably one of the better matches I had in my season. I think I'd like to play him again.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, that'd be fun. So you mentioned it briefly before, but if we look ahead to the playoffs themselves, your first match is against Hank the Pigeon and the Winnipeg Aquajets, who you've already played twice.
hmm
Um, 1 win, 1 loss. How do you feel about playing him again?
Um, I kind of knew what I did in my second match with mistakes like that, and I mean, I don't want to talk too much about it because I think I actually have a pretty good game plan going in.
Uh huh.
But uh, I think I know how to fix the obvious mistakes I made in the second match and just be able to overcome in the third match. Plus, excuse my phone, his team. Um, obviously he drafted a couple more Pokemon, Crobat and Mamoswine.
Hmm.
I actually am not really afraid of that too much. I do have answers for those. I was talking to Miguel about this. It looks like you actually drafted those 2 guys for Miguel instead because those 2 guys really just do a lot of damage to his team, especially, with Tentacruel and whatnot. And Mega Lopunny, that really seems to scare his team. But that trade, I'm actually kind of happy that he's able to get rid of Amoonguss. I was never really comfortable facing that thing. I know I had things like Late and whatnot, but Amoonguss always still a big threat, and his regenerator core was just
Mm,
very, very good.
yeah, exactly. But after Hank the Pidgey, you could potentially be playing Miguel again, as you said, a game you'd really like to play again against the
Mm.
Real Morel, and then you have the possibility of playing one of the two teams that you haven't played yet, the St. Louis Rampados or the New Orleans Pelipers, or the New York Yankees, who have beaten you.
Hmm.
So I think the most important question is, are you going to be crowned the GBA Season 4 champion?
I think I can. Yeah, I think I can definitely do it. I just gotta, play smart, not make any dumb plays, and just focus, not overpredict too much here and there. Just completely focus when I'm in my games, focus when I'm building my team, um, and make the best team I can.
Exactly, yeah. Well, I think you have a good chance. I think you've been proving the critics wrong the entire season, so no reason why that can't carry on.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that is going to wrap up this interview, so thank you very much,
Hmm.
Mulvone, for coming on and doing this. Much appreciated. And
Yep.
best of luck in the playoffs.
All right. Yep. Thank you.
No worries. And thank you guys for watching another Road to Playoffs interview. Stay tuned on the GBA channel for more of the same very soon, where we'll be going over to the Sinnoh Conference. So the next one will be looking at the Sinnoh Conference coaches. So, see you guys then. Toodaloo.